Now, let us spin some excitement in the learning about the four components of education that we discussed so far. We can take the model of information, skill, knowledge, and wisdom further into the explanation of human behaviors. My postulate is that different people are predisposed to different combination of how they use the four components. Some people predominantly use information to go on with life, not only in studies, but their relationships, their jobs, businesses, and even their own health. Others are chiefly guided by the skills or the data and the facts that they have accumulated so far in order to drive their careers, families, physical health, as well as mental health. There are other people who stand on a strong foundation of knowledge to navigate the various aspects of their lives. Still others charter the waters of existence on the merit of their wisdom. There cannot be any person who purely lives by any single of the four components, and it's a mash of all those four components in different percentages. Yet, to make the point clear, we will assume that we have four types of people as per the above description. These four types I will again divide into two broad types. So those who are predominated by information and skill will be in one group. Then those who are predisposed to knowledge and wisdom will fall in the other group. This idea leads to the diagram that you see. Let me explain the diagram so it's easier for you to understand further in this section. So, what this diagram is telling is that everybody is trying to solve a problem. It can be minor problems or major problems. We can find the solutions in different ways. And this is what this diagram is telling. The box on your left talks about the person who finds solution based on information. I have categorized this person as uneducated. In the same box, the other person makes decisions based on acquired skills. Now, my hypothesis is that these people and their decision will tend towards adding more problems in their lives, more entanglement, and further more failures. This is what the arrow is trying to say. The second box has the same format, but now we have two types of people. One person makes decision based on the knowledge that he has gotten so far, and the other person based on the wisdom that he has attained so far. Again, based on my hypothesis, these two people and their mode of cognition will lead them to lesser problems, more on entanglement, and their failures themselves will be more manageable over time. Mind you, for the sake of consistency, I have used the same diagrams that I have used earlier to represent the various components. Now let me try to explain my hypothesis through some examples and more explanations. What I mean by someone who tries to solve problems through information and not skills, knowledge, and wisdom is that this person basically doesn't think a lot and looks at everything in face value. So for this person, what he sees, hears, experiences is the truth, and he has no inkling towards digging deeper in either trying to understand or to make some changes. For example, such a person sees his child getting sick. At the same time, he saw an old woman look at the child in an odd way. So, based on those two information, he will deduce that the dirty look of that woman caused the child of his to become sick. In this way, the solution that he will seek is most likely to be sorcery or to banish the woman from the village. Now, this is a solution based on purely information. Similarly, the person who is predominated by skill in the same situation of the child getting sick will resort to something that he knows what to do, be it the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do is another matter. So let's say that the child is sick with fever and is feeling cold. This person has a skill to make the child feel warmer and wrap that child with lots of blankets. Alternatively, the child could be suffering from severe diarrhea, and the skill that this person has is to prevent further loss of liquid by not administering water to that child. This is what they know how to do. They could also know how to make magic potions or herbal remedies that they had been taught by their ancestors. However, we both know where the actions of the first person following the information based solution and the second person following the skill based solution will lead the child towards, that is, to more problems. I have used this example of a sick child in the section to make the explanation easier, but it can be broadened up to many other situations, be it related to education or to our lives. As you can imagine, any person who lives on hearsay and just pure observation without the ability to have the proper skills, knowledge, and wisdom will end up in more troubles. Continuing the example earlier on, the information parent who has banished the old woman will create a vicious circle in his own village. In turn, everybody will start blaming old women for witchcraft. The children will not be better off, and eventually the village will suffer. As for the skilled parent, he had the right intention and the right skills, but it would be like using the hammer on a flower, maybe. The hammer itself is not wrong, but the knowledge of where to hit it was lacking. Now, I don't want to get ridiculously stuck in this particular example of a sick child. So I presume that you understand that this is just an example and you have to expand it. Today, we still have lots of people who are not able to go beyond the information that they hear. For example, the latest news that they hear about the stock market, be it true or false, causes massive panic. The information that we misconstrue in our relationship leads to disputes. We might win the lottery and get the information that now we are very rich, but it leads us further into traps and financial ruin because you don't have the skill to manage the money, and so on. Similarly, having lots of skills is much better than just basing our lives on what we hear and see. But that also has got its own limits. As I gave you the earlier example of somebody with a hammer, it's a great skill to be able to hit a nail with a hammer, but if that's all that you know and you're going to hit everything with a hammer, no matter how skilled you are getting into trouble anyhow. So there are many skilled traders in the stock market, to continue the above example, but they have the facts right and the data correct, but they cannot see the overall pattern, which is knowledge, and consequently they burn themselves. Similarly, they have the skills to dominate people at work, but they don't have the skill to listen and be non-judgmental. Consequently, at home, where their children and spouses do not need to take their nonsense, his skill of politicking and domination will become a liability, causing a toxic environment. In this way, you realize how just having the skills and rising above information is still not enough. It will lead to being more trapped because we only know a solution to any problem. The problem with the information people is that they think that they are very smart. In fact, they appear smart in the short run because they will make the biggest investment based on the available information that they get. They also get rich quick, but because they don't have the skills even to get out of the mess that they get in or to fix the problems that they create, they quickly fall down. They don't have the knowledge of the risks involved and the understanding of the cause effect of their actions. They don't have the wisdom to come out of the conventional thinking, and so they will fail in the long run. The same fate holds for the skilled people. They certainly have the skills, but they lack the knowledge of how to evaluate the information that they have gotten, how to compare the data and facts that they have received to the overall patterns. They don't have the concept of what is a side effect. So, yes, they lack the knowledge, and that will cause their endeavors to fail. Then they will not have the wisdom to find a way out because that requires fundamental knowledge and the questioning of it to modify that same knowledge into a new concept that will lead to further failure. Now that you have understood the information people and the skill people, then it's much easier to understand the other box consisting of the knowledge people and the wisdom people. The most important characteristic of the knowledge people is that they understand cause and effect and they have a systems approach to anything. They are able to see the big picture. In this way, they are able to know what is really important and what is not important. They can give differential treatment based on the information that they receive. They have strong pattern recognition. The wisdom people are very creative and they can easily use the knowledge that is very advanced in one discipline in order to solve the problem in another discipline for which the knowledge base is very weak. For such a person to be trapped is very difficult because he can think in multi dimensions. So, continuing with the example of the sick child, the knowledge parent will know that any sickness will have a structure, there will be symptoms, and there will be a cause. There will be a remedy to either pacify the symptoms or to nullify the cause. There will also be some precautionary measures that can be taken. If such knowledge is not available to that person, he will try to acquire it through other people who know more about that sickness than him. In this way, this is the trait of a knowledge person. Similarly, the wisdom person has got all the same traits as the knowledge person, except that he rises above this symptom, cause, remedy, precaution, causality of disease, and explores the overall lifestyle choices, environment, and even past life karmic connections by looking at the same problem in so many dimensions. So, by looking in so many directions and dimensions to solve the same problem, definitely the quality of the solution will be higher in the case of the wisdom people. Again, as I told you, this example of the sick child is just an exaggeration to understand the four components of education. However, we can understand based on this illustration that both the knowledge person and the wisdom person will be able to come out of the problems faster and with the least damage. For example, even if they had bought shares in the stock market and it falls, they would have had enough knowledge to have predicted such a situation and divested their funds. Alternatively, they could be patient enough to be able to withhold dumping their shares and thus not be affected by the downward market. Similarly, in the relationship example, both of them would fare better. The wisdom person would fare the best because he could innovate new behavioral approaches to tackle different type of people and create a positive environment at home. The knowledge parent or knowledge people will find it a bit harder because they are stuck in a certain understanding of how things should be because it has held true for so long in so many cases. But in the case of their child and families, it might not hold true. And so there will be some problems, but not as much as the earlier duo of information people and skilled people. When you have more knowledge, you'll find it very difficult to be trapped because you will see patterns and red alerts will blink whenever things are not right because you know so much. The same holds true when you have wisdom, but wisdom still offers a higher vantage point and can even prevent one from starting an endeavor that could lead to entrapment. So there will never even be red signs, but even if they are, this person would behave like a knowledgeable person and just get out of the way. Despite knowing so much and being so wise, it doesn't mean that these two people will not fail, but that will be done because it was inevitable. Also, they would have backup plans and planned for failure, knowing that they can never be 100% success in anything. So their failure will be very systematic.